Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the Unconventional Attorney Podcast. I'm your host. I'm Christopher Small. I am the Unconventional Attorney. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. This is a new podcast. You may know who I am from my old podcast, and I'm going to kind of explain how we got to the unconventional attorney concept here in a little bit, but I really just want to thank you for being here, and I want to give you an incentive to do two things: leave a review and subscribe to this show. If you know my shows from the past, I hope that you liked them. I think moving into the future with this show, my plan is to be even better, to take more time to prepare, to really give you all like the amazing content that you want and need to become your best self and create the best business that you can for yourself, all at the same time. To do that, to entice you, I don't even know where I'm going right now. By the way, you're gonna see this all the time. I'm gonna mess up, and that's fine. That's how we do it. And I'm not really messing up. I just like to jump around. My mind is wandering. I'm thinking of a million different things and want to say a million things all at the same time. Sometimes they get jumbled up. But what I really want to try to do here at the beginning, at the launch of this show, is to get you to subscribe so that you don't miss any episodes, and to get you to leave a review so that other people can find the show. To entice you to do that, I am doing a contest. Okay, and basically the contest is very simple. If you leave a review, I'm going to assume that you have subscribed, because if you leave a review but don't subscribe, what's the point? And in a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I am going to go through the reviews, pick a random person. I'm probably just gonna do like a random number generator, go through and pick that person's number, and you are going to win a 10-pack of my most influential books. These are sort of the books that have had, I think, the greatest impact on me as a person, and more importantly, maybe on my business. And they're going to be freaking awesome. I've talked about some of them in the past on other shows. I'll probably talk about some of them in the future on this show, but they are really, really cool and great. So to be eligible, it's super easy. Leave a review, subscribe. Okay? It'll be good for you. You don't miss any episodes. It'll be good for me. You throw me some love, and then iTunes likes it. All right? So I don't care if you give 5 stars, 4 stars, 1 star. I prefer 5, but I want you to be honest. If you like the show, leave a review. If you and you can win some books. All right? Who doesn't like books? We're attorneys. We're dorks. Okay. Now, I kind of wanted to take this opportunity to kind of give the origin story of this podcast, to describe how I got here, where I'm trying to go. I'm really excited about the concept and the idea of the unconventional attorney. I think it's something that I've been working toward for a long time. I think it really describes who I am, both for my sort of business consulting sort of side of me, and for my law firm owner side. So let's just sort of dive right in. I'm going to just give you the whole story from basically law school on, and hopefully you're not too bored. Hopefully it's sort of entertaining. Hopefully hopefully you like it. If you don't, that's fine too. But graduated from law school in 2005 from the University of Kansas. I'm a Kansas boy from Junction City. See the Jayhawk right there? I wish I had a video editor, because it could go bing. We'll just assume that it did. And started practicing law once I got out. I had no designs to do any business consulting. I didn't even know, honestly, that I liked business at that time. I had done some sort of entrepreneurial things in the past, including, I don't know if I should even say them on here. I probably shouldn't, because they could get me in trouble. Some things that were probably less than legal, but involved commerce. Okay, that's what we'll say. But you know, I've always, I think, had a fascination with psychology, with sales, with marketing, just with persuasion in general. I was a psychology major in college. Went to law school. When I got out, I started working for a small firm in a small town. And I think that at this time is probably when sort of the business bug really bit me, when it all clicked, when it became clear. I had my moment of clarity. I think it had to have been like 2 or 3 months after I was there I was doing the traditional sort of associate attorney job. I was showing up, they give me work, I do the work, and they pay me. And I started like looking at what they're doing, and I'm like, how are these dudes making money? And the way that they were making money was they were signing people up. So I'm like, let's sign some fools up and get paid. So I basically went in and renegotiated my deal, my salary, and I said, look, I want to catch a little bit of automatic money so that I can eat while I'm trying to do this other stuff. But I also want to get paid like a cut of each of the cases that I bring in. And I want that cut to be, we'll condition it on how much I bring in. So like if I bring in 5 Gs, everything over from 5 to 10, maybe I'm getting 25%. Everything from 10 to 15, I'm getting like 30%. I think everything over that, I'm getting like 35% or something. Awesome. And I was able to negotiate this deal. I don't think that the owners of the firm thought I was going to be able to generate any business, but they didn't know that I'm like a bulldog, like a what do they call it? Dang it, what do they call that? Hungry dog with chasing the meat truck or something. I don't know. Get ready for more of that. But I just went after it, and I kind of became fascinated with how to get clients. And at that time, I really, really started diving into the way that the internet works and the way that SEO works and the way that Google Ads works. I didn't actually do any Google Ads at that time. I didn't even do any SEO at that time because they wouldn't let me build a website. But that's kind of where the seed was set, and the interest was peaked for me to do these things. And so I did that. I started catching bonus checks, and I think at that time it was on. It was on like Donkey Kong. The seed had been set, and that drive to make money and have a business and like it was always fun to me. It's always been fun and interesting and exciting and fun to experiment, fun to like do something and see if it works, learn something else, try it, see if it works. And that sort of carried through all the way to today. After that job, I took another job at a small insurance defense firm for like 6 months. It was one of those jobs where you learn what you don't like. I don't know about you, but I got out of law school. I was 25. I didn't know anything about real jobs, about working in actual places. Like I was a bartender. I was a grocery store clerk. I painted houses for a summer. Right? I didn't have like a real job. And I got there and I was like, this sucks, man. This sucks. And then sort of luckily, I guess, we had a mutual parting of the ways, and I went looking for another job. And I found, in that interim, I found a job at the Kansas Department of Transportation. And this job was amazing for many different reasons. A, the legal work was super, super interesting to me. It was real estate. I was basically making deals. And it was so cool. I loved it. And I was decent at it, I think. By the way, you're gonna see me looking over here every once in a while. My computer is over here, and I have some notes, particularly for this episode. I think I'm gonna have notes in the future, only because I really wanna make these great. I will do a lot of off-the-cuff stuff on Facebook. I'll do a Facebook Live like every day. I'm gonna hop in and give some tips, tricks. So if you haven't liked the Facebook page yet, go to Facebook. I think if you go to theunconventionalattorney.com/Facebook, it will send you straight to the page. I think if you go to Facebook and just search Unconventional Attorney, it will pop up. Okay, I'm the only one. If you are already a fan of building a law firm, which is the sort of the former iteration of this show, it's the same page, so you should be fine. But I'm gonna have notes, because I want to talk about stuff, and I want to be able to remember it. I want to be able to give you great content. I think most of you are going to be listening to this in your ears anyway, so you're not even going to know when I look at the page. But back to our story. Kansas Department of Transportation, eminent domain attorney. It was an amazing job. It was also a government job, so I wasn't hooked to the billable hour. I wasn't required to do any of that kind of stuff, and I had some downtime, quite frankly. And it was at that time that I really, really dove into SEO for real. I got into these like sort of back channel message groups, and I don't even know how I did it, but I really just started learning everything that there was to know about SEO. And this is like the old school SEO, which maybe I'll do an entire episode on. I did a white paper on it called The Myth of SEO. It's at the unconventionalattorney.com. You can get that right now. But basically, you're just like taking advantage of the what's the word I'm looking for? Of the youthfulness of the algorithm, of Google's algorithm. And I was using it not for law firm purposes, but I would create a website on and honestly what I would do is look around my office. So I'd be like, okay, all right, cool, like coffee mug. I would create a website about coffee mugs. I would do some SEO magic, and then I would put Google ads on it. And that way, whenever anybody went to my site and clicked on one of those ads on my site, I got paid. And I can't tell you how cool it was. I think the first time I got paid, it was like 9 cents, but it was like the best 9 cents ever. And then I was like, gosh, this internet thing is awesome. So I started diving in, learning more about that. And then the opportunity that I had at that point, I'd been waiting for, had been kind of planning for, came up. And I moved to Seattle with my wife, and I opened my firm, my first law firm called CMS Law Firm. It originally was going to be an eminent domain law firm because that's what I was doing. There's great money in it, particularly in Kansas. But out here, things are a little bit different. The geography is different, which, not to get too much into eminent domain, which made the cases different, which made everything different. And so that didn't work out. And so like quickly, I guess at the same time I kind of opened it, but then I ran with criminal defense, traffic tickets, and then eventually so that was 2009 when I opened this firm. About 2013, 2014, personal injury. So I come out here, I don't know a soul. I know no one, and that was okay with me because I didn't know anyone anywhere. So to open a firm here was great. It was at the 2009. We all know what that was like as far as the economy goes. It was dead, right? Everything was dead. But I came out here and opened my own firm. I started creating a bunch of content for my traffic ticket blog, for my DUI practice, and I started getting clients, a lot of clients, and I started doing really well. And started at that time too to kind of dabble in some Google ads and just continue to experiment and see what was going on. At that same time, I started my first law firm in 2009. I moved out to Seattle in 2008, took the bar exam fall 2008, got my license 2009. At that same time, and it was actually, I think in about 2008 when I started taking the bar exam, I started a blog called Starting a Law Firm, okay? And the original point of that blog was for me to just talk about what I was doing, talk about what was working for me, talk about the mistake that I was making, the stupid things I was thinking, the fears that I had, and how I was going to overcome them. And I just started writing. And I think you can still see those posts today, but I'm not sure where. So good luck. They are on the internet for sure. But I started just creating this content and writing about what I was doing. I really kind of wanted to create something that would be beneficial for me to look back on in the future, and because I knew I could feel the fear was tangible, the indecision was tangible, and I really wanted to kind of capture that and look back on it later because I knew there would come a time, like right now, for example, when I look back and I can talk about it, but it's not the same. I can't feel it. Like I can't express how I was doing back then, and I really wanted to do it for myself. However, and I didn't do any advertising, I didn't do any SEO, I had no business ideas behind that at all, zero actually. I just was focusing on my firm. The firm grew relatively big, mid six figures in a couple years, doing great, making real money, doing doing the thing, and people started asking me questions about this blog I was writing on. Attorneys, they started sending me emails and making comments, and then I think at some point somebody said, "Hey, I'll pay you. Can you help me?" And I was like, "Yeah, ding, ding, ding." Right. So then I was like, "Okay, that's crazy." And still, even then, it wasn't a real business. I wasn't trying to make money. I wasn't really trying to do anything. And then I started a podcast. I think my first podcast was called Law Firm Marketing Mastery Podcast. Okay, these are still out there, I believe. So if you search for them, like on iTunes, they should pop up. And by the way, so this begins the journey, which I think is coming to a head in the Unconventional Attorney, of me trying to figure out and describe exactly where I'm coming from and exactly what I'm doing. okay? I had always had the philosophy in the past of creating businesses that don't focus on you, the person, because because you want to be able to sell them or step away or whatever. That's kind of changed, I think, over a little bit of time, and I'll talk about that when we get to the creation of this new podcast and new platform. But back then, I was kind of just looking and experimenting on what to do. So I called it the Law Firm Marketing Mastery Podcast, and I just started talking just like this. And it was great. It was amazing. I love to be able to talk about this stuff. This is a true outlet for me. I get to share what I'm thinking about. I get to share what I'm working on. But again, what happened was with that, because I called it the Law Firm Marketing Mastery Podcast, it sort of hamstrung me on what I felt like I could talk about. Because, and we'll talk about this in really soon, but the main concepts that I like to talk about aren't just marketing. You know, we're talking about leads, we're talking about sales, systems, we're talking about scarcity, we're talking about mindset, a lot of mindset, because that's huge for success. And traditional business practices, modern day marketing, right? Facebook, Google Ads, all this kind of stuff. And so some of those things just weren't allowed to be in there. So that Law Firm Marketing Mastery Podcast, I believe, then sort of iterated into the Art of Lawyering podcast. Okay, the Art of Lawyering podcast, same thing. I was just talking about the same things. I thought, oh, this is good. It kind of encapsulates what I'm talking about. The problem, though, is that the Art of Lawyering, for me at least, conjures up ideas about being a lawyer and practicing law, and that's not what I was talking about at all. Zero. You know, there are I'm sure great resources out there. I know of some great resources out there if you want to work on your skills as a lawyer. This is working on your skills as a business owner. For all of you out there, right? Law firm owner or not, this is just business. It's just freaking business. And so again, I went for a while, created several episodes, probably like 50, 60, 70 episodes. And I was like, gosh, it's not working again. So then let's go to what my last iteration was, which is called the Building a Law Firm podcast. Building a Law Firm podcast, again, I think begins to encapsulate most of these things. But the problem is that it didn't really capture where I'm coming from. You know, the things that I do are it's not that they're not traditional. They are traditional from a total business standpoint, but from a lawyer standpoint, from a law firm owner standpoint, because this is sort of like an old school profession, this stuff is just not talked about. It's not discussed. It is not utilized, and people miss out on a bunch of stuff because they aren't doing what they need to do to get their business where it needs to go, right? Point blank. And so a lot of what I do is seen as unconventional in our world. And it's actually seen as unconventional in a lot of other worlds too. I'm a part of some groups of other business owners, e-commerce, coaching, consulting, brick and mortar, sales, all kinds of stuff. And a lot of the stuff that I talk about, they implement into their own businesses because I come at it from a unique angle. And I love this stuff so much that I have a deep background in it. And I am willing to kind of get in there, get my hands dirty, and learn it. And then I also kind of have a knack, so I hear, for being able to break these concepts down, being able to talk about what's going on in a way that everybody can understand, whether you are an expert or a new person. And so I wanted to create this new brand, really, that emphasized the sort of the differentiating factor, the unique things that I am bringing to the table. And I just wanted to be able to have carte blanche to talk about whatever I want. So now with the Unconventional Attorney, it's all about me. Yay! Which you're probably like, whatever. But it just gives me the freedom to talk about anything that I want to talk about, which for me is it's really exciting. It's really fun. I'm so pumped about the content that I'm going to be bringing to you, and that's kind of how we got here. So that's that. One more reminder: if you're still listening right now, awesome. I hope you're not bored. Go subscribe, leave a review, enter the contest. You're going to get my 10 most influential books. I'm going to send them all to you. They're going to be like hardbacks, probably. I'm guessing. I'm going to order them off of Amazon. So I'm not going to go cheap on you because there's only one winner. But I guarantee these books, if you read them, they will change your life. Okay? All right, now let's switch gears. what is the unconventional attorney all about? As this time has gone on, I've really been able to sort of codify, to use a legal term, to really sort of come to put together my philosophy, right? Where am I coming from? What am I doing? And so the philosophy really boils down to three things for me: traditional business concepts, practices, right? Traditional business methods, modern day marketing, which is using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google ads, right? YouTube ads, all these things, and using these traditional business practices to do that, which is copywriting, right? Content, all these things. And then the third element, which is where I think a lot of people fall short and a lot of people don't talk about, is an anti-fragile mindset, okay? For me, anti-fragile means when you get hit with stuff, you don't just hold up. Like, that's resilience, okay? Anti-fragility is the concept that when you get hit with stuff, you get stronger. You get better, right? And as a business owner, these are the things that we need to be able to survive. A perfect example: there is a person in my inner circle group who created a video and sent it to me, and I broke it down for her. And she saw she actually caught the breakdown in the middle, and I think at the exact point where she was watching it, that's where I was doing a lot of the critiquing, and she felt like I was attacking her. And I took some time to really talk to her and help her process the way that she reacted to that criticism. Because we're all going to get criticized, we're all going to have haters, we're all going to have competition, we're all going to have people that try to put us down, and it's the way that you react to those things that are going to set you up for success. And the way that you react well is to prepare well, to work your mind, to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, to become self-aware of what's going on and the feelings that you're feeling, and to be able to take those feelings and use them in a way that gets you where you want to go. Okay, so for me, that is anti-fragility. That is like one of the biggest, it's the third leg of my philosophical stool, if you will. Okay, now that philosophy then sort of manifests itself into 5 core concepts within the unconventional attorney framework. Okay, that is mindset, number 1, which I talked about: leads, sales, process, scarcity. Okay, I think maybe I'm going to do an episode on each one of these individually to really dive into them. But really, we know what mindset is. I just talked about it. Leads: how do you get people to ring the phone, set client appointments, come in? How do you get new potential clients? Sales: how do you sign those people up and get them to actually become your clients? Processes and systems: how do you do the work in a way that allows you to go home when you want and still make a tremendous amount of money? And then scarcity is how do you leverage human capital and other things, technology, to be able, again, to get more time and to be able to live the life that you want personally and professionally. You can do it all. You can't have it all. And that's sort of what my those 5 core concepts within my philosophical framework are. Okay, now I'm going to kind of wrap this up real quick. I want to kind of just give you a quick rundown of what to expect on this podcast. A lot of it is going to be like this: straight to the dome, right? I'm going to hit you hard. I'm going to hit you fast. I'm a fast talker. I'm excited. I'm excitable. I love talking about stuff. It gets me all fired up, and I can't help it. You're going to get some woo-woo stuff, right? You're going to get some mindset stuff where I try to talk you in to doing the things that you want to do but are afraid to do, okay? Taking action in mindset is 90% of success as a business owner. Being able to do the things that you're afraid of is 90% of the reason that people don't succeed, an inability to do those things. We're going to talk about nuts and bolts, right? Boots on the ground. We're talking about strategy. We're going to talk about tactics. We're going to talk about, like, I'll dive deep on a Facebook ad, and I'll tell you about copy. I'll tell you about all this kind of stuff. So we're going to have a lot of that as well. And then we're just going to talk. Sometimes I'm just going to rant here a little bit. I can tell you that some of those rants, some of these topics are going to also not be on this podcast. Okay. The reason is I want this podcast to be deeper level stuff. I want it to be good stuff. They won't always be long. Like, this is 25 minutes already. This is pretty long. Probably going to be between like 8 and 10 minutes, 8 and 15 minutes, depending on what I'm talking about. But I'm going to do a Facebook Live almost every day. My goal is every single day to do a Facebook Live. So if you want to see the rants the quick hitting stuff, the stuff that again just goes straight to the dome, then make sure you go to my Facebook page and like the page. What is it? Facebook.com/The Unconventional Attorney. I think we'll get you there. Just search for Unconventional Attorney in Facebook. Okay. You can also go to theunconventionalattorney.com/Facebook, and it will redirect you there. I've got that set up. Okay. That is it. One last call to action, one last request. Leave a review. Go to iTunes. If you know another attorney that could benefit from listening to this podcast, please just share this with them. All right. That is my call to action. That's my request. Hell, if you know another business owner that you think would be interested in this, the stuff that I'm talking about, yeah, it applies to law firm owners, and I own a law firm, but I also own a painting company. I own this consulting business. So these concepts apply across the board. So if you know somebody that's a friend of yours, that's a business owner, that's an entrepreneur, that is looking for sort of a new place to get some good, fresh content that's actionable, that works, send them over here, okay? Leave a review, subscribe, win the books. That's it. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Christopher Small. I am the Unconventional Attorney, and I'm so excited to be wrapping up this first episode. I can't wait to see what's on the horizon for you, for me, for all of us. All right, have a great day. Bye.